You talk about the way that the club has changed. When you took over, I think you said there were 3,000 members. And now there are 30,000 members. The team was wooden spoon, wooden spoon, wooden spoon. Now they're the champion team of Australia. How much pride do you get from that compared to what most people would associate you with, which is being on screen, clearly winning Oscars, being nominated for top awards? You know, you've got your new film, your directorial debut out. Now, how the pride that you get from your professional career, in a sense, compared to the work you've done for South, how do you compare them?
Pride's a funny word, man. I don't really like to employ that word, you know. South Sydney gives me a very deep satisfaction because sport in Australia is an extremely important thing. Probably too important in a funny way. But your team is locked, a team is locked to its district. So South Sydney is the CBD to the airport and to the coast, to the beaches below Bronte. Within that geographical area, you have some of the most expensive real estate in Australia. But you also have pockets of, you know, of quite high density government housing. You also have the highest population of urbanised Aboriginals in Australia. So it's a very complicated and complex area. And when I was a kid, the football team was a champion team. And then over the time, it had become a perennial loser, as you were just saying. I mean, 4 of the 5 seasons before we took over, I think they came last. But that obviously has changed, you know. We changed the culture, we changed the way the players thought, we changed the players. We brought in a different style of player, a different style of coach. We gave the administrators more resources to do their job better, you know. Worked in with the city council to get what was a broken down old stadium torn down and replaced with a modern state-of-the-art stadium with, you know, I mean, the ground at Redfern Oval now has, you know, the proper sort of drainage systems. It has, you know, linked rubber matting underneath the grass, so impact is softer because it is a training field. So, you know, and as you know, historically you'd probably know, some of the pitches in Australia can get pretty hard in the sunshine, you know. So I look at it now, and you know, with what it's created, you take a team from being perennial losers to being competitive, to being a dominant team, and then to becoming champions. You know, the outcome of all that is not just more focus on sport in the district of South Sydney. The outcome of that is more doctors and lawyers, you know, because these kids have seen this perennial losing team pick themselves up by the bootstraps and go on to become champions. And that's a great example to show them. And it's one of the funniest things, man. In my view, if we're not playing sport to inspire kids, why are we playing sport? And that's really the whole reason. It's kind of like my community penance, you know, going into South Sydney, picking the worst, heaviest job you could possibly, the most impossible job, right? Getting this dinosaur to roar again.